Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Beazy podcast, where we talk about the behind the scenes of the creative industry. And today's guest, we have Simon Vaza. He is from Studio 361 Berlin, or Studio Berlin 361. You might have seen him in our events if you ever attended one. He's usually the guy with the gimbal going around taking nice videos of everybody. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast, Simon. And yeah, please introduce yourself. Add anything you want to the introduction.
Thank you, guys. Yes, thank you for having me. And yeah, I am the annoying guy who always asks, "Can you do that again, please?" Because that was super cool. And yeah, let's catch it in camera. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. First, yeah, it's really nice to have a very old member of the community in the podcast, and also a good friend of mine. We worked together a few times already, and it's always a pleasure. Yeah, the first thing I wanna ask you is actually for people that don't know you, like. How did you get started with like filmmaking, videography? Is that something that you always did? It's something that came about later, or how did you start with filmmaking?
Well, in the beginning, it was just a hobby. I was working in a soap company. My soap company. I was creating soap, and I was selling to a few natural shops. And then filming was my hobby, and that is great when you transform your hobby into your work. It's like you never working and you enjoy that much. And yeah, it's always great to
Yeah,
have this change. And now I would like to have another hobby that in the future maybe I will use it as my
yeah.
job in the future. Yeah.
So yeah, now that your hobby become your work, you have to find
But
another job.
I'm
Another.
still enjoying the my work, that is creating video, the creation process, and yeah, I'm still enjoying. But it's good to have something and aside to
Mhm.
be prepared just in case something
Yeah,
bored me or change.
yeah. No, yeah. No, I'm totally like in the same opinion as well. It's always have good to have hobbies on the side that if you become good enough, you can
Yeah,
actually profit from them. That's how I started also with filmmaking, photography,
because
and
it's like you're never working. It's like
yeah,
you enjoying all the time, and it's super great.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm yeah also in the same boat. Let's put it this way. And yeah, like now I wanted to ask you about your trajectory. You said like, oh, you were working with like making soap, and then how did it how video became your main job basically? Because right now I think you freelance mainly, right?
Yeah, I'm just freelancing right now,
Yeah, but
and
you did work also with agencies
yeah,
before,
I was
or
working for a video agency before. That was a great team, was a great experience. And in that time, I was really craving to work with a team and in a huge environment with people related to what I'm doing. But then I realized that time was not enough because you work until eight, until from 9 to 6, and then it's like 1 hour until you get home, and that was a lot of time consuming, and you didn't have the time to I didn't have the time to do the things that I really want, like go out and shooting with some artists, dancing and doing more stuff. I didn't have time for those things. And now, so yeah, so now that I have time, it's more easy to reach things and reach goals. And
yeah, nice. And I think that touches a bit on what I wanted to ask is like um, the benefits of freelancing, and I think you just stated about like having time to do your own projects.
yeah,
But the other side, you also have like a lot of way that you can learn a lot because there are
yeah,
always projects coming to you,
yeah.
right? So do you think it's still valuable to like for someone that it's trying to maybe change paths, like it's like started a photography or filmmaking, maybe they can start like looking for a job in an agency to get experience and then go freelance, or how do you feel that
You
is the
don't.
best?
I think you don't need to work in an agency if you
Mhm.
surround by people who have the same interested, that are interested in the same field, and ideas are always welcome. Like, hey, what if we do this? No, but we do it in the other way, and you say, okay, this way is another different way that I would do it, but it still works.
Mhm.
And this is the creative part when you are with someone and you work together and ideas comes, and it's super nice. I think you don't have to work in a company. You just have to be like surrounded with friends that enjoy the same process as you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, working in a company is also security.
Yes.
That some people are craving for that. Like, oh, I want my security. I want my paycheck in the end of the month. And during Corona was good for me, but now it's not like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this security also is good because you're secure. But as a freelancer, you always have to work more somehow. It's like before you work 8 hours a day, and now you're working like 15 hours per day
Yeah.
because it's more, even weekends or whatever. And but when you as in a company, when once your shift is done, you shut down the computer. That's it.
Yeah.
But as a freelancer, you always have to be prepared to work this overtime. But this brings with benefits also. You get more money. You maybe you have a wave of a lot of work, and then in the future you will have a day when you don't work a lot, maybe a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to put all this and the preventing safe account just in case you get sick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
or you want to go traveling somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point, and I think this like I heard someone saying this kind of phrase before, that like he was tired of working in a 9 to 5 job, and he
Yeah.
also wanted to be like kind of, oh, I wanna kind of not start my own company but having my own thing. And then he realized that freelancing is actually owning your own company of a one man,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you have all the expenses, accounting, so you have
All
everything that a
together in
company
one.
needs
Yeah,
to do, you have to do it yourself. So I think also that this other freelance area, it's a lot of like entrepreneurship.
yeah,
You have to go and find clients yourself. You have to nurture clients, do the customer support if some client is not happy. So
yeah.
all of this, that a company has different departments, you have
Yeah,
to do it
you
all
all
yourself.
yourself, but all this would come with benefits in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to work based on that all extra effort. And I mean, work is like the invoice have to reflect all those extra effort that you are doing because you have to pay yourself your holidays, you have to pay yourself your insurance, you have to pay yourself everything. So you have to put all this in the invoice.
Yeah, and I think like this touches also in a very interesting topic, which is pricing, as you just said.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, I kind of know because we were in a lot
Yeah.
of this process together. But I want also to other people like to share to other people. In the beginning, how did you go about pricing? And now that you have way more years of experience, like looking back, I'm sure you look back and it's like, man, I was like undercharging a lot. I
Yeah.
was not being like putting so much value in what was actually worth. So how was this your relationship with like pricing your services? How it went? Because I think that's an interesting topic that we can share
This
with the
is a
audience.
whole science how to charge because you would not charge the same to Zalando, for example, a big company, to your friend that is around the corner and he just want a dance video. It's not the same ratio, you know.
Hmm.
It's like so you have to put all those things, and it's a holy science. Really, it's super complicated, and I don't know. It's like sometimes when you give a price and they go straight forward. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And then you're in your mind you're thinking, oh my god, I give them a very low price. Sometimes I just ask to the person, what is your budget for that? Depends
Hmm.
of the is this a friend, is a friend of a friend. But if I can ask that question, that will save me a lot of troubles,
Hmm.
like mind brainstorming how much I can charge, because yeah,
Yeah.
it's a science really how to charge someone. What I do sometimes is like I go higher a
Yeah.
little bit. So then if they say, "Oh, but this is too low. This is too
Too
high."
much. Yeah.
Okay, what is your budget for that? Do you have something in mind to work?
Hmm.
And but if you go lower, you cannot go higher after. So I'm ready to go higher and then have a negotiation to work with. But yeah, I usually, this is someone recommend to someone, I ask to that
Mm-hmm.
someone who recommend me, do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think this is a good price for the person?
Do you have a minimum price that you ask, like, okay, for this type of video I won't charge a minimum of this, and yeah, you can differ a lot with the video, but I usually also try to have, like, okay, I won't work for less than, I don't know, 300, 400. Like, I'm not saying to you you can
Yeah,
share
yeah.
the actual value, but do you have this, like, strategy that is like, okay, this is the minimum, I'm gonna aim here, I have this range to basically play, but I won't go lower than these.
Yeah, I think all the projects are different. It's like you, how can I explain that? I think all the projects are different, and it's depend of the client. Everything depends on the client. And this is a friend of yours, and it's a super nice person. You just go for it. And maybe, I don't know. I really like to help, and with this helping, something will come in the future for sure. Because in the beginning, I wanted to have a bigger portfolio. So what I did was offer things for free, like hey, who wanna interview? I will give it for free, and this actually happened what I'm telling you right now. And then someone contacted me. Yeah, I have this product. I would like to have a video or an interview. I'm talking about the product, and I say yeah. We did the interview, and then in the future, like 6 months after that, that person contact me and then say, "Hey, I'm working now in a big company. Can we need a video guy?" And the budget was like 6,000 euros just for one shooting and a lot of small videos after that. And I was thinking that is super
Paid off.
good. So this thing that I did in the past, like offering something for free, helped me to reach a better client in the future. And it's
Ex-
always like this. Someone knows someone, and this someone refers you to a job. 95% of my, no, let's say 98% of my job is someone who knows someone, or I work with that person and refer me to someone. It's all connection that you made outside. And for this, I was and for this, I came out from my comfort zone, and I was going to event. I was going to do more stuff. This is how I met you guys in the
yes,
in the
yes, yeah,
BC, and I thought this kind of event is good for connection, to connecting people, and people relate to what I like to do, pictures, photography, arty stuff, and the people who goes there is always open to do something, work in the future together for arty project, and it's super nice. And those events are super good to connect people really in the same field.
yeah. Yeah, I love that you say that because we had other guests in the podcast, and pretty much all of them said, like, the main thing is word of mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
main way to get clients is word of mouth. And
yeah,
it's funny because it's, yeah, it is true. Like, people tell you, like, over and over again, you have to network, you have to make connections, because it's all about connections.
yeah,
And you see, like, there are some other people that probably also have different ways to get clients. They do a lot of, like, lead generation. They
yeah,
reach other brands on LinkedIn and so on. But when it comes down, like, I think I also heard this from, I don't know. I always remember the quotations, and never, like, who quoted. I have to get better of remember the name of people who quoted that, like, to get work, you just need to do a good job, be enjoyable to work with, and be remembered.
yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you get a first job, and then people like working with you,
yeah,
and then like, you do a good job, you are remembered, and you're a nice person. Because if you do a good job
yeah,
and you're remembered, but they don't like working with you,
yeah,
they won't. Like, if they like you and they remember you, but you didn't do a good job,
yeah,
you don't get a job. And if you even if you did a good job and they like you, if they don't hear from you
yeah,
again, they
yeah,
probably
yeah.
won't come back by themselves,
Yeah, true,
So,
totally
like,
true.
somebody,
It's like something that I hear in Instagram, like if you want fast, cheap, or good.
yes, exactly.
So you have to choose one of two of those three options.
Yeah,
You want it fast and good, so it won't be cheap.
yes,
So you fast, you want, well, it's something like this. I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
already, but it's super good, and yeah,
And I think this is the same, but this is the opposite. You need the three to
Yeah,
get like recurrent clients,
yeah.
especially.
And you know what happened to me before that I attend to any shooting because the video guy didn't show up, and then I was nice with the people. We were talking, and then I keep the client.
Yes.
But I'm not stealing the client. I'm just being better and giving a better quality content, and I'm being nice and, as you say, memorable
Yeah.
and nice and good. So if you have those rules, those three tips, that will be a tip, like a cherry in the cake.
And yeah, so now we touched about like how to find clients, and one thing that I had prepared a question is I see that a lot of I have actually two questions in mind. I will pick one. So the
One
next
first, one first.
one first. So yeah, the next question is basically about the clients still, because you focus a lot on social media, right?
Yeah.
I see in your work that you do a lot of social media video based on like on either on interviews or event videos and so on. And how is it the social media working for you for one presenting your work, and second, if clients find you through social media, if is this a channel that you use to like talk to other clients? How is it how social media works for you?
I think social media now is like a big portfolio, really. So this is your face to what you're doing. Now you can send a website with all your videos, but for example, I'm working for people to put content in social media. If I am not good at that, I'm making the first mistake.
Yes.
That means that I'm not good. So yeah, that is difficult for me because I was not a social
Social
media
media
guy
person.
that give 300 likes in a day. But yeah, I started working on that, and I was to because you have to see what is on the internet right now. What is trend?
Trendy.
What is trend? What is not? See, oh, I would like to do this, and if I see more content, more framing, and more stuff, all this gets stuck in my mind.
Hmm.
So in the future, I can use it as a reference and another project for something else that I want. Maybe it's not related with the question that you asked
No,
me,
it is.
but
It is.
yeah,
Yeah, because how you use social media to promote, but you even took a step further. That's
yeah,
like social media is not only a communication channel, but it's also kind of a research,
yeah,
resource that you have to
style
see.
to
Yeah.
see different styles. And sometimes it's good to copy. If you copy something and you do it
Hmm.
better, it's like it's improving all the time. And
Hmm. Still like an artist, right?
yeah, and it's good because you can see a lot of good things out there, and then you see, whoa, I want I'm not in that level, but I want to get
Hmm.
in that level. So I have to practice and do it and make it possible. So yeah, social media is your portfolio, and sometimes I don't have time to work on my portfolio and I know I should be working more, but I'm doing my best. And now social media is everywhere. Everybody has an Instagram, everybody has a TikTok account.
Yes.
It's out there, and if for companies this is the main thing sometimes, to give them value, to
Hmm.
present their themselves to the target group that they're looking
Yes.
for. And yeah, so if I have a good content over there as a portfolio, they will see me. This never happened that people see me and they say, "Oh, we want a video." This no, it's
I.
always mouth to mouth,
Yeah.
or someone recommend me, as I said before. What was the question before? I forgot.
No, yeah, it's how you use social
Yeah.
media to is
Ah,
if you
okay,
use
okay.
social media to get to clients. But yeah,
Yeah.
you did answer the
Ah,
question.
okay, okay. I thought maybe I went
No,
to the
yeah,
branches to
no,
another
no, it's
topic.
fine. Yeah, it's because I have so many other questions in my mind around the same topic that I have to start picky.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because the next question would be also related to this that you said about inspiration. No, it's funny that you mentioned that because there is so many different questions and
Yeah.
around this topic, especially social
And then
media.
you touch a point, and then 300 million points
Yeah,
come
more
after.
questions come
Yeah,
up.
and
So
more
I'm
things to
trying to
say. Yeah.
stick what I prepared, but it's been hard. But it's good because the
Yeah.
conversation is flowing, and I love it. But yeah, the next question would be more about the niche, because you niche down more into like shareable kind of social media content, and this for me, it's also something personal because this is the stuff that I don't really like doing. And to be really honest,
Yeah.
I have to do it as a marketer, but as a creative, as a filmmaker, this is not something that I enjoy doing. I know the value and I know how to create them. But if I had like a video agency, I would probably not work on social media videos because I love more storytelling, longer form content where you can like craft a story and a message. So these usually take
Yeah.
at least 5 to 10 minutes. Like you can do some like this narrative branded content that you have a 3 minute ads that is almost like a beginning, middle, and an end of a story.
Yeah.
So this is more like what I like to see. And for me, it was weird, like because the first time I was hired to actually shoot for social media, and they asked me to shoot horizontally. I was like crying. It's like,
You mean
what am I
vertical?
doing? Yeah, vertically. Yeah,
Yeah.
vertically.
Okay.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it almost hurted me inside as a creative to have to do that.
Yeah, and it's difficult to place all the information that you were used to to frame in a horizontal screen, just in a tiny, like 30% of the screen now.
Yeah.
It was so difficult. But in the beginning, well, I think if you can have the two worlds, like the
Hmm.
commercial social media thing
Yeah.
and the artsy process, because this is what I when I'm working with an artist,
Hmm.
like a how can I say a TPF project, right?
TFP. Yeah, like
TFP,
a
sorry.
passion project. You can call it
Yeah,
different ways.
collaboration
Yeah,
project.
collaboration.
This is when I do my stuff. Like, okay, let's do it in this way because I really want to do it in this way.
Hmm.
Let's. I am the boss there, and I do what I want to do together with the artist, let's say. But this is my time to do what I want to do, and there is the social media market thing that I'm adapting to what they want and what I know also. But shooting vertical, that was a very huge challenge,
Yeah.
very difficult in the beginning, but then you get used to it. And now when I'm trying to make my arty thing, it's so difficult to change now to the normal format, like
Hmm.
horizontal and everything. But I think if you can have the two worlds, you can combine them somehow or have them separately, that would
Hmm.
be great. It's like the yin and yang,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Yeah, that's great because one of my next questions would be also related to this, which is like, how important do you think is to have these passion side projects where you can, as you were saying, like you're the boss, so you have completely creative freedom to experiment, to
yeah.
try out stuff that might not work because it's your project, right? Because many people are like, oh, you shouldn't work for free, you shouldn't do this, you should like
Yeah.
worth your work. But there is this also this other thing. If you're always working with clients, you're not
Yeah.
experimenting that much. So how do you feel? It's like how
And
important it
those
is.
experimenting things could help you to find a new client. So it's like a win-win situation. And I think this is a like the tank of the car, You have to feel sometimes with the things that your passion and the things that you want to be able to move.
Hmm.
And this is the thing that I always try to do. Sometimes there is no time, but this is what I want to do. Like from time to time, having some project that I really enjoy and I really want to put my hands on, and
Yeah,
even because it's for free. But this free content thing costs money, but
yeah.
costs time, and time is money.
And sometimes it's not even for free. Sometimes you're paying to
Yeah,
produce.
exactly, and it's so crazy. But I mean, if you enjoy the
Yeah.
what you're doing, it's like I said in the beginning. If your hobby is your work, it's like you're never working in the
Hmm.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And another thing that I wanted to ask you is basically, I know that you really enjoy as well doing stuff for social media because even when you go like to the busy event, you still like the style of our videos is still very much this, like this is style like shareable kind of content
Yeah.
with a lot of like shorter cuts, dynamic and everything.
Short cut.
Yeah,
1 second is like what in the beginning. I was
yeah,
like, what? 1 second. Okay,
yeah.
continue. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
no, no,
interrupt.
but like this is actually what I wanted to ask. Like, maybe this is not what you enjoyed, and but now it became your work, and I see you enjoy doing also in your free time. Do you have any other types of projects you would like to have, like on this passion side?
You mean
For me,
video
like for
related
me, like
or?
I do a lot of marketing videos because I'm a
Hmm.
marketer. So this is what I'm better at, is doing like interview-based promotional videos where I can craft a story, or even like promotional videos in general, because I can use my market background to create exactly like thinking of the persona.
Hmm.
So this is basically my commercial work. But I'm writing now a short film, and I really want to get some short films done because I love cinema, you know.
Yeah.
So do you have any other types of video? Maybe it's like more narrative, or is it different, you know, like a documentary, or how do you have any other different because you do have a second project, right, on the side. Um,
Yeah, no, the thing is, I would like to have now, just right now, I don't have a different hobby,
mm-hmm.
but I'm working on that, and I would like to work with leather.
Okay.
Sorry, ecological people, like eco-friendly, but I don't know, leather. I think I would love to work with, and I would and I would love to record the making of, for example, that a backpack, the
Oh yeah.
making of a wallet, and that I think will be my next hobby work because it's
Yeah.
related. What I do in here, I will sell it and I will have a video of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I have them because I think some I hear in the beginning when I start working that people invest more in social media than in the product itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have already the social media investment because I am the guy who make the videos and the pictures and the images of the product, whatever. So I have already all this source so I can promote anything what I do in the future, like super low price because it's just me
Mm-hmm.
paying myself
Yes, yes.
for this kind of content. Yeah. So that I think will be my next hobby work thing, working with leather. And I would like to make more videos of the making of a backpack, the making of a jacket leather, a wallet leather. So
Yeah, and there is an audience for that. I love seeing
yeah,
like maker videos, you know, because it's
super
so
cool.
interesting to
Yeah,
see like the process, you know.
yeah.
And talking about process, like this is more of like a kind of a technical question as a fellow filmmaker, because I see that a lot of your videos, if for me, many times feels that you build your video on the edit. Um,
Did I what?
you build your videos on the
Uh huh.
edit, you know, because for me, like my creative process, and everybody has a different creative process. I'm very much like when I come to shoot something, I already know every single shot that I need because I planned and I storyboarded and I have, you know,
Yeah.
everything from like scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then like even when I do interviews, I build the interview before the message and I ask just like 5 questions that is exactly what I want to have in the
Yeah.
video. So my creative process, I think, might be very different from yours because
Yeah.
I see that your videos, you just like shooting a bunch of different angles and then you create something totally in the edit. And for me, if I do that, I come into the editing software without an idea, you know, not without an idea in general, but like not knowing what a video should
Yeah.
look like already. I'm so lost. Like to be honest, I like it. It takes me so much time. I have so many unfinished
Yeah.
projects, personal
Just because
projects,
of that.
because of that. You know,
Yeah.
because I just realized that for me, this is like completely, yeah, I don't know. I can't do it basically.
Yeah, because I think I have a rule. Well, I heard something in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
also when I start working that wide angles
Mm-hmm.
is wide frame is information and
Mm-hmm.
close up are emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I always try when I'm filming something, I try to go with three kind of shots: wide, medium, and close up.
Yes.
If you're, for example, using a skateboard, I will go a little bit back and I film all your body
Mm-hmm.
doing like using the skateboard. Then I will go to medium shot from the hips to the
Mm-hmm.
head,
Like a
and
cowboy
then
shot
yeah, cowboy
almost. Uh-huh.
shot, and then you move it, and then to close up, maybe to the wheels of the skateboard, and I don't know, and some emotion and some um how can I say some action because
Mm-hmm.
picture is totally different to to video.
Yes.
Picture is just one frame, but video, it's like you have to tell something.
It's moving pictures,
Yeah,
you know.
so you have to go to point A to point B, and you have to do something in between,
Yes.
like rolling, drinking something. Everything it's there, so you have to use it. And so yeah, I have
Yeah.
all these kind of three shots: wide, medium, and close up. And then whatever you want to transmit with those kind of shots, it's is up to you.
hmm Yeah, no, that's funny because the shots, the meaning of the shots, from my point of view, is the same thing. Even when I'm planning narrative, when I want to give information about like where the current, like establishing shots, you need a wide angle.
Yeah,
So this for me, I also do, but I do way before. So for me, like when I come, I have like scene one is gonna be shot with a 24 millimeters, with this much of the stuff in frame, and then I want to capture more emotion. I either use like a
yeah.
50 or an 85, and then like especially when I want more compression, you know. So I also use the same things, but I use this way more of like, what do you
Of the
do? What
planning.
do you
Yeah,
do? Like in film, we call like coverage. So you basically get a lot of
yeah.
coverage, and then you build the stuff on the edit. And for me, like this, I tried to do that, you know. But for me, it's still I don't know. Like my mind
Super
works
difficult.
different, you know.
Yeah,
I
maybe
need the
because the
story
film
before.
area, the film, it's this is there is a film side of the video and the
hmm
videography side of the video. And I think film side is more like you were saying before, more planning which lens you going to use, which kind of framing do you need for that. But I think videography is more like you go and you can plan
hmm
a story, but what you get, well, if from my side, I'm
Yes,
talking
of
from
course.
just for me, because maybe some people has another way to go through. But for me, it's like more like more improvising. Let's say I
Yes.
improvise more, and sometimes it's super good. I'm sometimes I'm super afraid of the content that I have that maybe is not enough. But then sometimes I get home and I see the footage and I say, oh, I can breathe because I know it's super good. And sometimes it's not that good, but it's still working, but not as you plan in your mind in that moment specific. But I think there are two sides: more planning, that is more I think in the film side, and the more and videography that is more in the more faster
Yeah.
and not planning at all.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
and I think this is the nature of the work as well. Because the way I do, if I wanna create a lot of social media content, it's probably not gonna work because it's gonna take too much time to
Yeah.
get one video done. You know, because even though you get
But
faster of the
once you
process,
practice, you practice, and then
yeah,
you get to use it. Yeah.
yeah.
See,
But I think yeah, like with social media being so like content every
yeah.
time, every day, you know,
And
like
social
more
media
and
have to
more
be fast.
had to be fast.
Yeah, and I learned that because, for example, one clip in a short video before, one
hmm
clip was 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then I cut to another frame.
hmm
And social media is just 1 second,
Yes,
1 second, 1 second and a half, and then boom, you move. You tell the
sometimes
story.
even like half a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, and then you tell the story in 30 seconds about a guy who met someone, and then they get married, and then they got children, and they have a beautiful family. All this in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
And it's crazy how social media works. Why? Because people don't have time to spend 10 minutes watching a short film
yeah,
for social media.
yeah, yeah, and that's the part that saddens me a little bit as
Yeah,
more into like I'm way more of a film enthusiast, a film lover. I feel that like right now people just don't take the time to enjoy
yeah,
actually being entertained in a more meaningful way. Because for me, what I love about film and I love a lot about like drama documentary is that you experience other stuff through other people's stories, you know. So this for me is something that if you focus a lot on social media, it's really hard, you know. Like of course you might be able to, as you said, you know, tell a story of someone that like met, got engaged
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
10 seconds.
But it doesn't
It's a
feel,
challenge.
yeah, exactly. But I feel that like in 30 seconds you can't really connect. And like for me, I'm very much on the artsy side,
Yeah, yeah.
that I really like hearing from the score and how the score changes and the sound
Yeah.
effects, how basically like the rain from a sad scene and a rain from a happy scene sound different, and all these nuances. But as you said, like this requires a
Yeah.
lot more planning and a
And
lot
you
more.
plan more and you spend more time, less time in the production of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes improvising, you can spend a lot of time because you don't know what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and the planning in the moment take more time.
Yeah.
But sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah.
And but you have to look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever it happens, you
You
have
know.
to look like I know what we're doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
no, that's very interesting because this was a personal question as well. Because I know that even though we both make videos,
Yeah.
we have pretty different approaches. And I just wanted to share with people also that like maybe if you are more like you, that you're better on cutting stuff from
And
improvising,
describe.
just having
Yeah,
coverage.
I think
Maybe you
I'm
should
quite good.
go to
Yeah.
like on social media side.
Yeah.
I think if I
Yeah.
try to do just short social media content, I will have to learn a lot, because it's something that I'm definitely not good at, because I'm way more into the
Mm.
like film, traditional like film side, that is like, okay, I want to tell this story, bring you this
Yeah.
emotion and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
this, you need time, not
Yeah.
only on
Just
the
need
planning
time.
to plan all of this, and for the audience to actually feel it, because you can't feel like happy, sad, excited, and everything in 30 seconds. You need a bit of
Yeah.
time to
To
express the
process
emotion,
and all
to
this. Yeah.
like do the setup, how do you call it? Yeah, but you need time to do all of
Yeah.
these. Like you set up, payoff, like something that you have in the first 10 seconds of the video. It's gonna just connect with something that happens in
Yeah.
the minute 3 or 4, and then you're like, oh, this scene that is like he showed actually connects and makes a sense, like just in the end of the
Yeah.
video. And I love this moment where people connect and
Yeah.
everything. And I think this is like what social media misses. And it's just a matter of, yeah, people consume content in different times, in different vibe. As you were saying, I don't go to social media to watch a short film.
Yeah.
Like me personally, my YouTube is full of short films because I love it. But most of people, they are there for information, and they are in Instagram for entertainment and TikTok for entertainment as well.
I
And they
think.
are just like
Yeah.
scrolling, and you have like
Scrolling.
20 seconds. So it's just a matter of like how people consume as well, right?
Yeah. I think I am the only guy who watched the commercials in YouTube.
Oh no, I do all of them, and I save some of them,
Yeah,
and I
are so
go and
good.
then I go like look for this commercial, and then I save in
Super
a
good. I
playlist.
always watch them because it's like I said before, if you watch more content, you will use some of the framing or some ideas and make it better in the future. Yeah. What I was saying before about improvising, it's
Hmm.
good to improvise, but knowing some stuff in the background. For example, what is the goal of this video? What
Yes.
is the goal? What would you like to reach with this video? You want to create value. Okay, let's create value with what we have here. You want to sell. Okay, let's sell with what we have in here. I always suggest like three things, two, three things. I don't remember. Create value to your company that people can say, "Oh, they are so eco-friendly. They are so nice. They are doing this good. I support them."
Hmm.
And then you can sell them. Like create value to your company and then sell and create something like really pops, something
Hmm.
funny,
Yes.
something funny, value and sell, not 100% selling, but show them something to buy.
This is great because like what I always tell people also, it's similar, not only as a videographer but as a marketer, is
Yeah,
that first you need to bring value, and then
people will
down the
come.
line you can sell them.
Yeah,
Because if you go straight for the sale, it's, yeah, like more often than not it's not gonna work, just because imagine like it's like you're going on
yeah,
the street and somebody's like, oh, do you want to
selling
buy
you.
something from me? And then
But
you're like, who are
I always
you?
think if you create value, you don't have to sell because people
Exactly.
will come.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, for me, like sometimes I get like this analogy. If somebody just comes like, I don't know, oh, do you want a photo of you and your girlfriend out of nowhere in the streets? You're like, no, like who are you?
yeah,
But if the person's like come and say like, oh, you're a beautiful couple, and start a conversation,
yeah.
and then
You can sell it
like
better.
yeah,
Yeah,
and in the end like, oh, by the way, I'm also a photographer, so it doesn't feel like a sale, right? And then I
yeah,
think like especially at this day and age where we are bombarded by ads every third post in social media, like if you're just being sold, if you're trying just to sell, you're not going to stand
yeah,
out.
yeah.
This is what we were saying now of the
People
content
don't like
talking.
to be sold.
Yeah,
Really, like knocking your door and telling you buy this for 399
yeah,
euros. No, I think it's better if you create value. People will come to you. That's
yeah.
it. That is my main rule. And when I someone asks me for a video, okay, what is your core value from your
Mm-hmm.
company or your product? Oh, we are eco thing. Okay, let's work on that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's
Yeah,
use that as a main thing in your video, and let's make it possible.
yeah. Yeah, nice. Because this also touches, as you're saying, like what is the goal of the video? Because I don't know how your clients work, but like sometimes my clients don't have very a specific idea. They just know that they need video. That video is what's
Yeah,
selling, and they're like, oh, we wanna do a video, and then
we
they
don't know what, but we
no,
want to
and
do
then
it.
like sometimes they come like, oh, we wanna talk about feature A, B, and C that we are good in are doing this, and that. And then I'm like, okay, but what is in for your customer, Because I know your solution can be great, but the main thing is to touch on what is their problems or no objections. Why do they need your solution in the first place? It doesn't matter how all the bells and whistles, how you are the best in the world in this future. Like, if people don't need it, they won't care. The
Yeah,
first thing that
yeah,
I
yeah,
tell
yeah.
people, is like,
And that is good what you're saying because for being a normal, not a normal, just taking advantage of the situation, you just can say, "You want a video? Okay, let's shoot a video. You will get paid anyway,
mm-hmm.
but you want to be good,
Yes,
so let's do that. I want you to call me in the future.
yes.
So if my video it's making something to your company, you will see that company will see the benefit, and then they will say, okay, that was great. Let's call him
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So this
this,
is the part in the beginning that you have to be nice, you have to be good, you have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this goes back to something that I was looking at that I didn't know that was a name for it, but it's like apparently you have like this thing called value-based pricing, which is basically you sell your service based on the value you bring.
Yeah.
And then I started like, okay, this makes so much sense. So now when I go, like some clients come to me and say like, oh, we need a video. It's like, oh, why you need a video? What do you expect out of the video? Is it you expect people to sign up to a form? Do you expect people to go to your landing page? Is it your product page? Where the video is going, because in the end, if you think about the whole funnel, it's basically you click in a video, you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if the video and the page is out of sync, probably this person won't get results, and they might think that your video is
Is
not
what
good.
your word wasn't good.
But
Yeah.
what is broken is their funnel. It's
Yeah.
not your video.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, it was funny. Like
It's a change of things that yeah.
one of my clients once, like we finished like the discovery call, she was like, okay, like thank you so much for this call. I learned so much about marketing
Yeah.
when I came to you to do a video. And I think
But
this,
I am a video guy.
yeah. But then, like, I think it's what you're saying, like when you bring a lot of value, even
Yeah.
to the client as well, is when they see the value of your work
Yeah.
and they are not, like they don't have the objection to pay more for your work. Because I always tell people, compete on value, not on price.
Yeah.
Because if you compete on price, there is zero upside of being the second cheapest. You're either the cheapest or you're
Yeah.
out. But if you bring more value, people won't mind paying more money because they see the value you're
Yeah.
bringing, right? So
So you can
it
they
goes
can
back.
sell it higher if
Yeah,
they have more value on something that really pops
yeah,
from another.
exactly. And then it goes back to what you were saying, that it links very well together. That if you're just there selling a video, then you're always gonna be, like paid for the video. and that might be not much because you know that we might not spend that much if you put like rental of the gear and everything. Even if you know down everything, maybe it costs you being paid like, I don't know, 80. It costs you like, I don't know, 500 to do the video, but you might be able to charge 2,000, 3,000 for a video that costs you technically 500 if it brings to the client over 5,000,
Yeah.
and you're never gonna know that if you don't explore the impact of a video and you focus just on the craft, right?
Yeah, the thing is, time is money.
Mm-hmm.
Time is so precious. And sometimes I ask to the client from which stage you want me involved in the project,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe they don't have the budget to bring me in the stage of planning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a difficult, but all depends to who you the is all depends to for who is the video. Big company, a small person, not a
Exactly.
small person, is a normal
Yeah.
artist,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. This is a very, very interesting point about, yeah, I think it goes back to pricing and everything. So I guess we covered a lot already. I don't want to make this too long. Then, like we talked about pricing yourself, making your passion into your work, right? Um, and one last question I have is basically like we're talking a lot about editing, for example. Is there any part of the process that you enjoy most? Like because I really enjoy the planning and the shooting, but when it comes to the editing myself, it's like I have to edit. I like the color grading because it's what you play more with emotions.
Yeah.
Um, but the editing itself something that I have to do, and I think you enjoy the editing, right or no?
Yeah, I like the editing because you have the ingredients in your hand, and then you're like making pasta. Then you
Hmm.
put a little bit more parmigiano, you put a little bit more salty, and then when you see the result, it's super nice. But I like also the shooting process, the filming of,
Hmm.
because you are kind of in charge, and
Yes.
yeah, and then you're the bossy person there, and it's like, okay, can you get this with your right hand because it's not visible, but you have to be able to communicate.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and nice, because some people don't know how to express and
Hmm.
communicate and give feedback.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I'm kind of good in that. So I like the shooting process also. Yeah, I like everything.
I like
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
from the A to C to Z. Yeah.
So now, I think we like one kind of last question, so we can start wrapping up. Is for people that are in the place that you were a few years ago, where they have a job and they want to go more into the freelancing world, or just try to start having it as a side income. Do you have any tips on how to start to first, you know, getting clients and everything, and start slowly, like a kind of a plan on how to use this hobby and slowly try to make it into your work, like either as a side job or a main job in the future?
Yeah, well, although I just would suggest that go out from your comfort zone.
Hmm.
It's difficult in with this weather, cold weather.
Oh
Sometimes go
yes.
out from the house is difficult, but yeah, go out from your comfort zone, connect with people, and create. Work for free in the beginning. Not work for free because you're working for yourself, and in this process, you will get a portfolio for you.
Hmm.
Set something that you would like to do. For example, a commercial about something. Contact people, talk to people, make them give them a very low price, so they cannot refuse, and practice. No, that was super bad.
That
Let
was
me tell.
actually good.
Yeah, yeah. So make something out of it and make it work and create your own portfolio.
Yeah, I think like from my view as well is that it all comes down to the more you do, the more you
Yeah,
learn,
and practice and practice and
practice
practice.
and practice, and once your work is good, it's gonna show, and other people will also see it.
Yeah, and set goals, because if you don't set goals like until this month I want to create this kind of video,
Hmm.
and do it, because I mean, if you're working for a company and you say you're going to be there at 8, you will be there at 8. If
Hmm.
you tell yourself I'm going to do something this time, do it also. It's respect for yourself
Yeah, it's
somehow.
almost like going back to treating yourself as a company
Yeah,
is the first part.
exactly. And this is
To,
so difficult
yes,
to respect yourself. Like if you tell yourself that you're going to be there that this time, do it. Because
yeah.
you would do it for your boss if you're working in a company.
Why
So do
don't you
it
do
for
it for
yourself.
you? Yeah.
Exactly. Do it for yourself.
Okay, I think that's perfect advice. I stand by it as well, even though I'm guilty to not do this sometimes, that I set goals to the project just because they're personal. I don't take them as serious as it is like work. It's way easier said than done, as many of these
Yeah.
things. But yeah, I want to thank you very much for being in the podcast and sharing a bit of your process and your journey. And yeah, some last words is like where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Well, thank you for having me, guys. That was super great. I I really admire all the works that you're doing here with the marketing and all the events that you're organizing that are super helpful for people like me, like everybody who like to be involved in the same area. And it's super good. Yeah, and thank you again for having me. And yeah, my website is Studio Berlin. My Instagram website is Studio Berlin 361. Yeah.
Okay, then
Call me now.
call me now. Yeah. So thank you very much again for being here. Thank you everybody for listening. We see you guys in the next episode, and until then, keep creating.